Hey everybody, it's Kevin. So it's been about a month since my last video, and I want to apologize for the time that's passed. A few things have happened, and I want to give some updates. First, I want to say I'm committed to continuing the story. The plan is that my friend Christina Taylor, former colleague that I worked with that witnessed a lot of what I talked about, she's going to be interviewing me, and through that interview we hope to pick up where I left off and also kind of walk us into where we're at right now. So if you have questions that you'd like me to answer specifically, email those to me and I'll pass that to Christina and we will respond. I'm going to put my email in the description below. So for the updates, first I want to say that State Personnel Department has contacted me. They took some information, so I filed an appeal about my termination. They had the power to overturn that. I gotta say that they made several attempts to reach out to me. I didn't immediately respond. I don't have a lot of faith in the State Personnel Department, but they were persistent, and I did have some dialogue with them, and so you know, I appreciate that, and we'll see where that goes. They'll either make me an offer and I'll accept, or I'll turn it down, or they'll side with DCS. If they make an offer and I turn it down, or they side with DCS, I can appeal at the State Employee Appeals Commission, which is basically an administrative law judge. It's a court. So that will be kind of the last stage. I will say, though, that these things take a long time, and this could be pending a year from now. So we'll see. Other news, the Indiana Department of Labor has picked up my complaint, and they are launching an investigation into potential violations of the Whistleblowing Act under the Occupational Health and Safety Act. I will say, though, that you know, their inquiry is limited to that specific act, and there's a lot more than just that. They could mandate that DCS return my job to me and pay me everything from when they terminated me to when they make that decision. I suppose that that would actually probably, you know, that they would advocate for me in court, and that's where the decision would be made. At any rate, that could be, you know, months. So if that were to happen, it'd be a great paid sabbatical, I suppose. I have asked the Indiana Inspector General to investigate my termination. And when I say investigate, I have asked him to launch a criminal investigation. So let me be clear here. The department fired me, officially fired me for compiling a list of cases where we failed to provide parents with advisement of rights as we are legally required to do. And there's specific statutes. Let me log on here and I'm going to tell you what those are. Indiana Code 4-15-10 and -4 and Indiana Code 44.2-11 both expressly forbid retaliating against a state employee who lodges a complaint alleging a violation of law or rule. The latter of those two statutes is a criminal statute, So it's a criminal violation to retaliate against an employee who makes such a complaint. So I want to be clear here that I provided DCS with this list on December 2nd, 2020, and I was fired on July 2nd, 2021. This list was the evidence that they used to say that I accessed the database for reasons that didn't have to do with work. So they're going to try to split hairs on this, but let me be clear here. That list is a complaint, and it's part of a larger complaint where I am saying that a violation of the rule of a law occurred. So they really have to split the hair on that. I also want to be clear that I complained about this in written form on March of 2020, where I didn't access any database. I just said this was happening, and it was ignored. Later on, through discovery, I made requests for admissions, and I served interrogatories where I asked for acknowledgement that this was happening, and the department denied and said that I didn't provide them with any examples. They put it upon me to provide the examples, which I did. And then when I did, they fired me and cited that as the reason for firing me. So I've asked the Inspector General to investigate, and I expect that the Inspector General will do the job of the Inspector General and ensure that there is integrity in government, and that laws were upheld and abided by, and that he'll hold people accountable. But at any rate, I imagine a lot of what the Inspector General's office does is done with a certain level of confidentiality, and it'll probably be hard for us to know exactly how extensive they do investigate the matter. But at any rate, the request has been made. I've not been told that they've declined the request, as I have on matters in the past. So that's good. We'll see where it goes. The big news is that I'm running for Indiana State Representative for District 65. I'm seeking the Democratic nomination. My district is extremely conservative and Republican, so traditionally Democrats get about 30% of the vote. I think I have a good chance at actually not only getting the nomination, but turning the ratio. My frontline supporters are Republican. The 4 current members of my election committee are Republican. 2 of them have told me they've never voted for a Democrat, and they're voting for me. These are people that have their foot in the community. So we've got good grounds for a grassroots campaign to change the ratio. I expect to give a good fight. If you're interested in following my campaign, I've got a website. It's Goodman465.com. That link will be in the description below. I do have to say, per Indiana laws and per national laws regarding campaigning, that this message is paid for and approved by the committee to elect Kevingoodman 2022. We are registered with the Secretary of State, at least my election campaign committee is. We have a tax ID number. As of the release of this video, we don't have a bank account, so I can't at this moment take contributions, but within the next week that will change, and we will be able to take contributions. I'm working on a public Facebook profile. That's not up yet, but watch out for that. Also, I've got a Twitter account that I've not been active on for years, but that's going to change very soon. The link for that will also be in the description of this video. So if you want to stay up to date on my campaign, please follow me on Twitter. And like I said, if you go there, it's going to look like I've not been active for years. I might not be active for another week or two, but that's going to change very soon. I hope to use Twitter to get the word out on what we're doing. You can go to my website and see what my platform is all about. I am a Democrat, a moderate Democrat, and I expect to flip District 65. I think we have a good shot of winning. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I want to thank everybody for the support. I like to believe that things happen for a reason. I don't know if that's true or not, but I like to believe that. And one thing's for sure is that all this has motivated me to pursue this route. And I've got some momentum. I've got some people behind me, and I'm getting excited about it. So kudos to that, and thank you, everybody. Thanks for the support, and I promise I'll be back with more of the story. Bye-bye.